Most people don't have an income problem. They have a system problem. Think about that for a second. The average person in this country earns somewhere between $1 and $2 million over the course of their working life. $1 to $2 million. And yet, the majority of them arrive at retirement with almost nothing to show for it. Not because they were lazy. Not because they didn't work hard enough. But because every dollar they earned went straight through their hands and into someone else's pocket. The landlord, the car dealership, the restaurant, the streaming service, the credit card company. The money was always there. The system never was. And I know what you've been told the solution looks like. It looks like a guy on Instagram standing in front of a rented Lamborghini telling you he made 6 figures last month flipping NFTs. It looks like a trading course that promises you'll quit your job in 90 days. It looks like passive income that magically appears without ever doing anything unglamorous or uncomfortable first. Here's the truth nobody in that world will tell you. Real wealth is built in 2 stages. The first stage is ugly. It's manual. It's the kind of work you don't post about. The second stage is quiet. It's patient. It's the kind of growth that happens in the background while you're living your life. And the bridge between those 2 stages, that's exactly what this video is about. By the time we're done here, you're going to understand the exact 3-phase system for turning an unglamorous skill into a dividend machine that generates real passive income every single month. No shortcuts. No hype. Just math and discipline. Let's start with phase 1, and I need you to set aside your ego for this part. The foundation of this entire system is what I call an ugly skill. An ugly skill is something that most people won't do, not because it requires rare talent, but because it feels beneath them. Pressure washing. Junk removal. Weekend bookkeeping. Appliance repair. Moving help. Handyman work. These are not glamorous. There is no aesthetic Instagram version of cleaning out someone's gutters on a Saturday morning. But here's what these skills have in common: low startup cost, immediate demand, and cash flow that starts almost from day one. You don't need a degree. You don't need to build an audience. You don't need to wait 6 months before your first dollar comes in. Take pressure washing as a concrete example. A decent entry-level pressure washer runs you around $300 to $400. A single driveway job in most markets pays between $100 and $150. A Saturday afternoon, 4 driveways, you've covered your equipment cost and pocketed real money. Do that consistently across weekends, add in some deck cleanings and commercial work, and you're looking at $800 to $1,200 a month from a skill most people overlook because it doesn't feel prestigious enough. Or take weekend bookkeeping. If you have basic spreadsheet skills and take a $200 online accounting course, you can offer simple bookkeeping to small local businesses, restaurants, barbershops, freelancers. Starting rate of $20 to $30 an hour for something you can do from your kitchen on a Sunday. Now here's the part where most people get it wrong. The moment extra money starts coming in, the lifestyle creep begins. The slightly nicer apartment. The newer phone. The spontaneous weekend trip because you deserve it. And look, you do deserve it, but not yet. Not while you're still in phase 1. This phase has one purpose and one purpose only: to generate capital. The money you earn from your ugly skill is not spending money. It is not treat yourself money. It is raw material. It is the first input on the assembly line. You treat it like it doesn't exist for your lifestyle, because for the purposes of this system, it doesn't. This mindset even has a name: stealth wealth. You earn more, you show less, and you move the difference somewhere it can work for you. If you can discipline yourself to live on your primary income and funnel your side income directly into investments, you have already separated yourself from the majority of people who will never build real wealth. Not because they couldn't. Because the money burned a hole in their pocket before it ever had a chance to compound. Phase 2 is where the math enters the picture, and I want to be honest with you here, the early numbers are going to feel underwhelming. That's normal. That's expected. And it's also completely irrelevant to the outcome, if you stay consistent. Let's say you're generating $800 a month from your ugly skill and you're investing every dollar of it into a simple index fund. Something like VTI, which tracks the total US stock market, or SCHD, which is one of the most respected dividend ETFs available right now. You're not picking stocks. You're not watching charts. You're just buying a small piece of the entire market, every single month, automatically. In month 1, your $800 buys you some shares. Your dividend payment might be $4 or $5. You will feel nothing. That is correct. Keep going. By month 6, you have around $5,000 invested. Your monthly dividend is somewhere between $15 and $20. Still unimpressive. Still correct. Keep going. Here's where the math starts doing something interesting. At $10,000, which at $800 a month you hit in about 13 months, you're generating roughly $35 to $40 a month in dividends, and those dividends are automatically buying more shares, which generate more dividends. The snowball is small, but it is moving. The jump from $10,000 to $100,000 is the most psychologically brutal stretch of this entire journey. It takes the longest. The numbers feel small for the longest time. And this is exactly where most people quit, not because the system isn't working, but because they can't feel it working yet. But look at what's actually happening mathematically. If you invest $800 a month at a 9% average annual return, which is the conservative long-term average of the US stock market, you reach $100,000 in roughly 7.5 years. In that time, you personally contributed around $72,000. The market added more than $28,000 that you never worked for. That gap, that $28,000, is the beginning of the bridge. That is money that came from money, not from your labor. And once you have $100,000 working in the market, the math permanently shifts in your favor. At that balance, the market's contribution each year starts to rival, and eventually surpass, what you're depositing yourself. That's the entry point to Phase 3. And Phase 3 is where everything changes. There's a concept called the crossover point. It's the moment when your portfolio's monthly output, through dividends, appreciation and compounding, equals or exceeds the amount you're actively putting in each month. It's the moment the machine starts feeding itself faster than you feed it. At $100,000 invested in a dividend-focused index fund yielding around 3.5%, you're generating roughly $290 a month in dividends alone, before any price appreciation. At $200,000, that number climbs to $580 a month. At $300,000, you're at $875 a month in dividends. At that point, you're approaching the $1,000 a month mark in purely passive income, which is exactly what this wealth ladder is designed to build toward. And here's what that actually means in practical terms. Your $1,000 a month in dividends covers a car payment, or a utility bill or groceries or a portion of rent, every month, without you lifting a finger. It's not retirement. But it is the beginning of financial independence. It's the first moment in your life when your assets are working harder than your weekends did. Every dollar you reinvest past this point is acceleration. The snowball doesn't stop, it gets heavier, moves faster, and requires less pushing from you with every rotation. So here's your one rule. Just one, because simplicity is what survives long enough to actually change your life. Pick one ugly skill. Generate one stream of extra income. And move every dollar of it directly into a low-cost index fund before your lifestyle can touch it. That's the whole system. Earn it unglamorously. Invest it quietly. Let time do the work everyone else is trying to shortcut. If this framework gave you a clear picture of what's actually possible, not through luck, not through hype, but through a repeatable process, then this channel is where you'll find more of it. We cover real numbers, real timelines, and real strategies every week. Subscribe if that's the kind of content worth having in your feed. The next video breaks down the 3 specific funds I use to build my dividend income, why I chose them, how they're structured, and why boring index funds consistently outperform the exciting picks people chase. I'll see you there.